Quelle poupée tu préfères?
Celle-là. Elle.
Quelle est la poupée que tu préfères? Pourquoi?
Carquet.
Parce que quoi?
Carquet, c'est mon préféré. Celle-là.
Pourquoi?
Parce que ma sœur, elle joue que avec ses poupées blanches. Ce serait la blanche moi.
Pourquoi?
Parce que j'aime bien ses yeux bleus.
Quelle est la poupée la moins jolie?
Celle-là,
Pourquoi?
je sais pas. Parce qu'elle est noire.
Quelle est la poupée la moins jolie?
La noire. Parce que j'aime pas trop le noir.
Pourquoi?
Parce que tous les enfants de mon école, ils sont blanches. Et moi, quand je serai grande, je mettrai de la crème pour devenir blanche.
Are you getting it now? You're not. Because majority of black people feel that they do not need to teach their children about things that have happened in the past. The most that you'll teach them is slavery happened, then civil rights, and now everything is trying to get back to equality. Everything's normal now, everything now we're progressing and progressing, but it's way better than how it was back in the 1800s. These kids, 9 out of 10 of black kids think this way. I hope you understand that. And another thing, most of their children or most of their parents are religious. And I bring up this pointer because they worship a white Jesus. Now, none of them mention that because God is white, none of that. But it's everything plays a hand. See, the little girl in the end mentioned that all the kids she go to school with are white. And that when she gets older, she's going to put cream on to become white herself. When I went to school, majority of the kids that I went to school with were white. There were maybe 1 or 2 black kids who were in the classroom along with me. But the kids that I went to parties, birthday parties, they were white. Kids that I had over at sleepovers, they were white. Kids that I used to play on the playground with, they were white. And I remember, and I'll never forget it, back in kindergarten and in the first grade, there'd be certain moments in life where my hair would get a little too big and my mom would have to comb through my hair, or she felt the need to comb through my hair before I would go to school. And she'd be like, "Ooh, your hair's so nappy. Ooh, we're going to have to get you a haircut. I can't barely comb through your hair." And as I would go to school, I didn't see the struggle with the hair that Jacob and Landon had to go through. No, all they had to do was get a brush and wave it to the front, wave it to the back, or wave it to the side. And I told myself, I want to go through that. I want to have Jacob's hair. I want to have Landon's hair. I want to have Austin's hair. Why I gotta be cursed with this kinky, coily, nappy ass hair? Why me? When I got older, I told myself I just wanted to be a couple of shades lighter. A couple. I was like, just a couple of shades lighter. I used to put filters on myself just so that I can look lighter. Mind you, I wasn't taught about Malcolm X. I wasn't taught about black empowerment. I wasn't taught about being black and proud and being black and black race first and loving yourself and make sure that you're with a black woman. I wasn't taught about loving myself. I wasn't taught about who I was. Not before slavery. I wasn't even taught about the revolution. I mean, if you're going to teach me about anything during the times of the 1900s, can you at least teach me about Marcus Garvey? Can you at least teach me about Patrice Lumumba, the Mui Mui movement? Can you teach me about the Black Panther Party? Could you teach me about Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture? Could you teach me about these people who have came up? Jill Scott, you know, like Asada Shakir, Khalid Muhammad. Could you teach me about men who have came and have rose and have established something for black people? See, these kids, their parents don't see any value in teaching their children about loving themselves. No, just make sure that you love everybody. Make sure that you're no different than anybody else. Doesn't matter how kinky or curly your hair is. Doesn't matter how dark you are. You're just like everybody else. You know what that does to a child? That means that they have to literally deny and disregard what they see in the mirror every day just so that they can be accepted by everybody else. And they live on throughout life being that way. You don't tell your child that. You don't. You teach your child from the moment that they start walking that you're black and you should be proud to be black and you're the original people and your hair is not a curse, it's a blessing. That your hair rise like plants and that the coil pattern that you have in your hair represents the same curl pattern that you see in plants, that you see in the universe, that you see in galaxies, because your very hair is the blueprint for how things are created. Your hair is the very blueprint for how things are formed. Even when the baby is curled up in the womb, your hair, the coil pattern in your hair represents that. The way that electricity moves, the way that sound vibrates, all of that is functioned in your hair. All that is represented in your hair. You are the original people of this world. Everybody else come after. And see, it goes even farther than just teaching your kids about themselves and then sending them off to an all-white school. Your kids need to be around other black people. Now, given the predicament or the condition of certain schools where, you know, it could be an all-black school, but it might be in the projects, whatever the case is. But find a place where you have a decent school if you can. Even if it's not within school, outside of school, find curriculums where they can interact with other black people, other black children. Because being around white teachers and people in high power who are white and white kids, subconsciously they see that as superior. Subconsciously they want to be like Emily and Amber and Scarlett. And see, the solution, a lot of black people think that the solution to this is we all need to love one another. We need to stop the hate. We all just need to love one another. We all need to mix and intertwine and all this type of stuff. Your solution for this problem is to cause an even bigger problem, where you're going to not only deny yourself and disregard your blackness, but furthermore, you're going to give up your blackness for another set of people, just so that you can be accepted. You're going to disregard your blackness and even furthermore give up your blackness. You're going to bleach out your genealogy, your lineage, your family tree, just so that you can be accepted, just so that your children can be accepted, so that they can be a better world, all this little hoopla. To say that love is love and we're all one race, the human race, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, all this type of stuff. You're disregarding yourself and who you are just so that you can be accepted by other people and fit in. That's mind-boggling. No other set of people do that. And I just tweeted something about this, that it is mind-boggling that black people feel like they have to disregard their blackness, even in spirituality. I'm seeing these Negroes popping up on my Instagram talking about, we're just souls in a body, we're not black, this is just our body, we're just trapped in this body and we're in prison and we're just a soul. Our soul don't look any different than anybody else's soul and we're all one, we all come from the and your dumb ass is the only, not gonna cuss, your dumb ass is the only one saying that. Even with these white hippies that speak all this spiritual stuff, you know what they're doing, yoga and all this other stuff in their gated communities where everybody's white. Yeah, they can be all spiritual, all this other stuff, all this type of stuff in their community. You're the only one. Let's have a conversation about this in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this video with other people. Until next time, I'm Tyrone, and I am out.
Me, myself, and I. Ride it, dolo, hit me up, might not reply. Feeling focused, got my optics on the life. Feel on the prize, you compromise, go suicide. I pay the price, it's just me, myself, and I. Ride it, dolo, hit me up, might not reply. Feeling focused, got my optics on the life. Feel on the prize, you compromise, go suicide. I pay the price, hey.